Hello all, this is Dr. Dheeraj Masapu. I'm a senior consultant in the field of neuroanesthesiology, and after working for so many years as a senior doctor in corporate hospitals and bigger hospitals, I realized few very important aspects in healthcare industry which a junior doctor should know. Particularly in your post-graduation time or immediately after your post-graduation time, you need to know these things across all the specialties I would be talking. It's not specific to one particular specialty, and by knowing these particular aspects you can boost your career by 5x to 10x times. Okay, so these are the secrets I would like to tell you, and these are little harsh secrets, and nobody would be comfortable to talk, no senior would be comfortable to talk in front of you. But why I'm talking is nobody told me these things, so I would like to tell you. Okay, so what am I going to discuss in this particular video is the rule of 5 and why only 5 people will be very successful in a city, and what are the qualities that they have is what we are going to discuss, and how personal branding is helping them in getting into that kind of position, and also briefly how much salaries they would be earning in doctors. And then why patients believe senior doctors only, and even though our juniors are very skilled also, we would like to discuss. And also there are two ways of practicing, staying in a successful team or starting your independent practice, which is better also, we would like to discuss. And then like if you're worried about the violence, I would like to discuss about violence against doctors and which hospitals are safer to practice if you really want to avoid violence is another area I would like to discuss in this video. And working hours of doctors in India and compared to Western countries also I would like to discuss, and why are we working more, I will tell you. So first and the most important and my favorite is the rule of 5, and what is happening is in all the bigger cities and all the even the tier 2 cities also, there are in any specialty you take, there are only 5 people who are like super successful. Okay, so basically if you how does a super successful person, how am I defining super success is based on the amount of money they're earning and also the kind of power they have in a particular institution. So there are only 5 people in a particular specialty. For example, if you take neurosurgery, there are 5 that type of neurosurgeons in India. If you take orthopedic surgery, there are 5 such kind of orthopedic surgeons in any big city. Let it be 1 crore, 1.5 crore population, but you will only have such 5 super successful people. But rest of the doctors would be lying in a salary bracket of upper middle class life only. So only these 5 people would be actually in a super successful level, a rich class they would be living, driving all the big cars and all that. But rest of the doctors would be leading upper middle class life and middle class and lower middle class life also. So in this video I would like to tell you why actually those doctors are reaching that position is what we are going to discuss. Okay, so the main thing is that, see, most of them I have worked with some people, and I actually spoke to them, and what I realized is 7 to 10 years after the post-graduation, most of them have actually worked in very high volume centers for very less salaries. Okay, that is a very common trait observed in most of them, and during that time, whether knowingly or unknowingly, they were not focused on the money, they were focused on developing their skills in their particular specialty. Okay, and then they also published, they are like heavily published guys in national and international journals, and if you Google their name, significant contributions would pop out in the form of interviews and podcasts, and then even books will come in their names. Okay, that is the kind of profile they would be having. Okay, so and the next very important thing that they have, which nobody tells this, is their patients, what I observed is they have bond with them. It's called my doctor, they would be talking, my doctor bonding it is called. So by this way, what they actually do is, the very successful doctors actually, they sow seeds across the city, okay, or across the state. As a matter of fact, across the country also maybe, and then these seeds are their patients for whom they have given a very good result. So these patients would be treating this particular doctor as my doctor, and this bonding will be there, right? So they will actually go and get patients for them. It's like organic growth. So for that they spend some time actually. After 7 to 10 years of rigorous training, then they start their practice and they give this beautiful result to the patients, right? So they become their marketing agents and they get people for them. That is how it will work. And most of the super successful guys have this kind of network. Okay, and in below them there are many successful doctors, okay, earning around 5 to 6 to 10 lakhs also, but not in a super successful level. But they may be doing it with the social media marketing and doing a lot of videos and promoting them, which NMC doesn't allow. NMC has strictly released guidelines saying that you can't do that, but still many people do that and get patients, but that is not the real way. If you are such kind of a person, don't follow my videos. If you want to grow in a genuine and real way, and then this is the way to do it. Okay, so this is the pathway of super successful people, what I observed. They do MBBS, they do their MD and DNB. Till this is where we are focusing, right? I'll tell you the story after that. After that, it is like DM or MCH based on the specialty where you want to do, and then you need to work in a center with high volume. Okay, then if you ask me, Dheeraj, what is the high volume center? So high volume center is basically it's very simple technique. I will tell you. For example, you are living in Andhra Pradesh. Usmania Medical College is a place where a lot of cases will happen, right? Somehow you have to enter there, or Gandhi Medical College, or in Assam Guwahati Medical College, or in SMS Jaipur, or in any state medical college you can apply. Very tough to enter, but somehow if you enter, then what happens is you deal a lot of patients, and the accountability factor will be lesser, and you gain a lot of experience in that 7 to 10 years. So if you're an anesthetist or a surgeon or any specialty, if you dedicate that particular time and if you get hands-on experience with less accountability, and then what happens is you will become master in that area. Okay, along with that, you should also develop a kind of a personal branding during that time, which I'll explain in the next video. Okay, and then after a significant experience, then you should join a good corporate hospital, or you can set up your own center based on your capacity and risk-taking attitude. Okay, so that's a separate topic. And then after going into that, you have to show leadership skills. Since you already have strong clinical skills, if you have leadership skills, then you'll build a team and you'll grow. Okay, and then if you give a beautiful result to your patients, as I explained before, they will be your marketing agents and they will get people to you, and you develop a very good network of patients. This is how this is a pathway that you need to follow. It will take time, but this is where you become rich. Okay, you don't become rich by just working in some hospital, by working in some kind of a medical college, working in some kind of a, even if you set up your own hospital, don't click. Okay, mark my words, I'm telling you, this is the only way to become successful as a doctor. Okay, and then personal branding, I would like to tell a little bit. So basically, when you brand yourself, so personal branding is like, people who don't know what personal branding is. Personal branding is more like you telling people who you are. Okay, you need to brand. For example, if you are a gastrosurgeon, you have to tell the world that you're a gastrosurgeon and you're an expert in that. Okay, for that, the different ways of doing that. After you follow the pathway, then the best way is social media. Okay, then if you told us not to use social media. See, I never told not to use social media. I told you not to promote your videos. You organically grow in social media. Who is stopping that? Okay, so LinkedIn is the best platform, and to connect with other like in the LinkedIn, usually the advantage of LinkedIn is that most of the people are professionals and high net worth individuals, and so if you want to grow a patient base of high net worth individuals or educated people, LinkedIn is better. If you want to develop a patient base of masses, then YouTube is better. If yours is a cosmetic sector, or if yours is a plastic surgery, you need to be in Instagram. You need to select your social media based on your specialty. Okay, so that's the thing. And then you need to write a book in your area. Then if you ask me, then there is who will read our book if we write, because there are so many books already existing in the market. See, you are not writing a book to sell and make money out of it. You are writing a book because you become an author in the book. When you become an author, authority you become. Author is authority. So that is why you have to write a book in your field of your expertise, and then any conference you go, you will be introduced as author of a book. That gives a significant kind of traction for your profile. And also the Google, when somebody Googles, if there is an author in that particular field, Google by default will select that profile and show to people. So indirectly you are actually becoming more visible by writing a book. Okay. So more than publications, if your target is actually to reach people through some kind of a medium, writing a book will significantly enhance it. Okay. And other social media platforms, Quora and all those platforms also can be used to understand what questions people are having in their minds. And if you're working in bigger institutes and hospitals, you need to have visibility there also. So that you usually get when you do audits, and if you're part of committees in the particular hospitals, and if you're part of a big problem solving groups in the particular hospitals. Okay. Then the most important aspect that you need to know is, even though you follow all the pathway, even though you have actually done everything right, you have sowed the seeds and you have done everything perfect, and here you're seeing two images, right? One is young chap and other is a senior old man. If you have a disease, as a doctor, whom would you prefer? Okay, both have the similar profiles, both are trained in the best centers, both have similar number of publications, and rather the young guy has more publications, more talks and more patents in that particular area, and more books he has written in that particular area, but still you will go to old doctor because there is a reason. Wisdom, which is a very rare entity. Okay, wisdom comes with age. Okay, that is what is very important aspect in healthcare decision making. Okay, it's not about reading and protocol and pathway, even though they are important. Wisdom is the most important thing. And old, by looking old and as a doctor, you look like an authority in that particular area. Okay, and your manners, your empathy, and everything would change when you're old, which attracts a lot of people to you. So don't think that just because you achieved you finished the pathway which I told, and you also written a book and everything, you will be successful. You need some age. Okay, you need some age. And what age is that, Dheeraj? If you ask me, then I would say by 45 to 46, you look little older. Maybe from that point, it will start working out for you. It might look very demotivating for young passionate guys, but this is the fact. This video is not about telling we can do it and we can achieve. These are about the facts, and this is how the system is running. Okay, and then you need to understand that it takes time. Okay, you can't get everything right. You can't get wisdom overnight. You can't become old overnight. You can't can't finish the pathway overnight. So this is like how the crop grows over a period of time. You have to grow over a period of time. But if you grow in the way which I told, you'll become rich. Otherwise, you'll be another middle class person, which is not bad. You can be a middle class person, but after studying for so many years, if you are rich, then it would be providing a safety net for your family. If you really are rich, then you can stop working. You can chill in some place at some age. Otherwise, your whole life you have to keep working. Okay, then the next out is so now what happens is you have reached a certain age, and then you have two options now. Whether you need to stay in a team which is having very successful people, okay, or you want to start your independent practice. So here, how the system is usually working in bigger hospitals is that every team will have one superstar, and under him there are another set of 5-6 people who are actually running the groundwork, which are like all the basic work they would be doing, and below them another set of people would be there. So you might be stuck somewhere in the middle, okay, in your career. Then what should I do? If you ask me, then what I would suggest is, see, if you are in that initial 7 to 10 years phase which I explained in the video, if you are in the second tier in that particular organization, please continue, finish the 10 years, learn the skills from your senior. But if you're after that, and if you're looking old, and if you have the wisdom, please come out and start your game. Okay, it is risky, but if you start the game, you can reach the rich bracket. Otherwise, your whole life you will be in middle class segment only. Okay, so that is how I take a call. This is my suggestion, and otherwise, what happens is you will be in your comfort zone and you will continue your whole life working for somebody. So at some point, you need to come out. And about violence which is happening, which is a safer hospital to practice? If you ask me, then my suggestion would be corporates are any day safer than smaller hospitals. There is no big rocket science in this, because in corporate every corridor will have so many securities planted. So what happens is, if somebody really wants to attack, then at any point of time 30 to 40 securities will be there in any corporate. So they form a first line of defense for you. Okay, and if your time is bad, and then if a mob has already come and attacked you, that's a different story. But the probability of getting violent attacks in a bigger hospitals is very minimal compared to smaller hospitals. And also what happens is, by default in bigger hospitals you are trained to talk to patients in a different way, in an empathetic way. So in that process, when everyone goes through that process of induction, which happens in bigger hospitals, so you're induced for a few days before you enter working. So they will tell you actually how you should behave, how you should dress, and how you should talk with empathy. So usually things don't go that wrong when you're actually going through that kind of a induced process. So that I feel that corporates are more safer when you come to the point of violence. Because, and even in corporates, if you ask me which specialties are more prone for violence, emergency medicine is number one in that, because they are the forefront in the hospital. Like, the violence might be more in emergency medicine. Coming to anesthesia, if you ask me, anesthesia is the least possibility for violence. If you're working in intensive care as intensive, that's a different story. But if you're only practicing anesthetist inside the OT, the chances of violence are very minimal, and the clinical branches usually face a lot of problem with the violence. Next, coming to working hours. So Indian working hours, according to Supreme Court, this order has been passed in 2013 that Indian PG shouldn't work more than 48 hours. But is it really happening in India? No, we all know that. And some of the newspaper article, some AIMS resident told that around 100 to 120 hours of work is happening there in a week's time. Whether it is real or not, we don't know. Maybe in some specialties it would be happening. So why I'm raising this topic when I'm talking about corporate culture is, I'll tell you. So this kind of working is bad for your health, right? That is what we think. Again, there is a difference of opinion here. So here the point is like, whom are you working for? Okay. If you're working for yourself, okay. If you're working for yourself, it doesn't matter even if you spend that many hours for building your net worth, or building your CV, or building your personal brand. Because what happens is, if you work that hard and build all these things, then you actually cross the threshold of success, and then you actually beat the competition and reach a different level. It is worth, if you are building your own profile, your own CV, your own building your own game. But if you're doing that for someone else, then it's not worth it. Okay, AH has given a recommendation saying that if heart diseases and stroke are very common among doctors and other heavy duty practitioners, only when they are not having ownership, or only when they are not having the power of taking decisions. So how do you get power of taking decisions? If you are in leadership positions. How do you get into leadership? When you cross all the pathway, right, you get into leadership positions. So what I recommend is, it is not about the number of hours, it's about how many hours are you working for yourself, how many hours you are working for others is the matter. Okay, so basically what happens is, if you are stuck in a reward-based dopamine hit philosophy, psychology, you do something, you get a kind of a release. For example, you actually publish an article, or do some complex case, or you do something which is appreciated by your peers, or yourself at least, compared to your previous month or so. Then what happens is, that releases a kind of reward in your brain by the chemical dopamine, and then you actually work more. you work more, you get into the vicious cycle of rat race. So what happens is, if this rat race is helping you to build your profile, then it is worth. That's what I'm trying to tell. If it is helping others to win, or the hospital to make money, or some kind of institute if you're working for, then I don't think it is that worth. That kind of a calculation and common sense that we have to develop. Nobody is going to come and tell you that. So you need to understand for whom you are working. Okay, so hustle culture and all these cultures, what people are talking now, will work out only when you're working for yourself, not for others. Okay, that is the clarity that you need to have. It's not the number of hours. If you're working for yourself, nobody will get burnt out. People get burnt out only when you work for someone else. Okay, hope I covered significant medical secrets that nobody tells, no senior talks about, and many people don't know these things. And I have been in this game since long time. That is why I'm telling you these things. So you please watch this video again and write down some points and start following them, and then your life would significantly change. Okay, so I know you learned a lot of points. I think your friends also should learn. So kindly share this particular video with your friends so that they will also start learning these finer aspects of healthcare industry which nobody talks about. Okay, and thank you very much, guys, for the love that you guys are showing on the channel. And I would appreciate if you share the videos with others. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Bye.